Yo. Argument with me, lawyerdablack, and you ain't got a name yet. Will you introduce yourself?
Renee.
So underwhelming. So underwhelming. Anyway, right. We ain't got no subject this week, but it's the argument. It's the organic talk show, and that we plant a seed, we sow the seed, and where it goes, no one knows. You have to make sure it flies up. Say, people, I was sleeping, sleeping hard, and then where's the key go? Luckily, my daughter woke me up. Where's the key? So I'm just about to set up the live call number. Ren, you're gonna have to take over the show a minute.
Let me do the key thing. You take over the show.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Okay.
Right.
Let me do that. You take over the show, yeah?
Okay. Yeah, say about the whole disorganization. It's the old age kicking in. Had something to eat when I come back from work. Hang on, let me just don't be my time. Right. I had to go to sleep, innit? Sleeping hard. Then the little one woke me up. And we're here now. So, what shall we talk about? The live call number is 07932 922 532. It's the argument. Boy, when we used to do this on the radio, I used to do this all the time. Just like turn up and make something on the way to the show. But there's 2 sims in there. Yeah, that one. Right. And so anyway, ain't got no subject this week. So we're gonna freestyle. Should have a man Hakeem Hacks training in a bit later. We can't guarantee it. So I need some help, really. Need some help. What shall we talk about on the argument this week? Shall we do intelligence? Shall we do foolishness? I mean, what shall we talk about? I'm gonna just talk some rubbish until something kind of kicks in and grabs hold. But if you want to put something in the comment on what you might even like to talk about on the argument this week, it's all good. I stopped doing the social media thing because I did. I'm lying, but I stopped. Well, I stopped for a day. No, it was a day, man. A day was enough. I'm telling you, it's like.
What do you mean? Like you just went off all social media?
I just basically did a whole day without doing Facebook, Insta, any form of social media whatsoever. So I need to just refocus on what I was doing with myself. I mean, and then like just that little one day was like it was good. It was good.
Did you keep, like going to your phone and like wanting to tap?
Nah, I was busy. But at the same time, I had some of my what was I listening to?
Podcast.
Nah, it was one of my books, one of my audio books. It was the latest audio book I got. The latest audio book I got. Oh my gosh, I'm old.
What was it about?
I'm trying to remember. It's a life book. That was it. Oh man, it's good. Oh, it was a good one. Where's my? No, it's not on there. It's on there. It's my. Oh no, I can get Audible. Yeah.
All right,
anyway,
tell us what it's about.
Basically, it's about. Well, it's about always about self-development, but one of the things it was about just dealing with stuff that you need to deal with, like because a lot of the time with the social media or just how things are nowadays, we're bombarded with all kind of things to get riled up about, to catch our attention, to get us angry, or to get us like a reaction that's really got nothing to do with our lives or where we're going. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I thought you was getting up audio.
What's that? Oh, Audible, yeah, but you haven't logged into it.
See? You know how to log into my thing, innit? This is Richard.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, and it's the S1. Right. So yeah, so a lot of the time, like when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you go for nowadays is your social media, innit? Your phone's next to you. The first thing you look at is your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever social media platform you prefer, whatever notifications have come up. Because obviously your phone and that kind of learns when you wake up. I mean, they program the I mean the apps are deep. They know about more about you than you know about yourself nowadays. So I mean, like you wake up and you got your notifications in there. I mean, and the first thing you do as soon as you wake up is check out your social media. And then that kind of frames your mind, innit? So you've just woken up. You know when you just wake up and your mind's like, you're hazy, innit? You're hazy.
Yeah.
Well, you would be hazy. You used to wake up hazy. If you're old enough to remember the times before social media, you'd wake up hazy, a bit disorientated, like needing to center yourself. You ever woke up like in the night and like if your bed's near the wall and you're freaked out because it's like, huh? Where am I? Because in your head, you're in your head or whatever, you're facing the other way, like you went to sleep facing the other way or something like, and you actually wake up in your own bed and you're like, the fuck? The fuck am I? What's going on? Bruh. And then like you kind of get centered and then you realize you're looking at the wall or you know what I mean, or you're just in your own space, but it's just in a different place to what you're either used to or what you think, and your mind centers and you're like, okay, and then it kind of gets to recognize and relax and whatever and focus. Now we wake up and we got a social media post, you know what I mean, and we check out that thing, and then after we checked out that thing, the next thing, either if it's a video, we get a next stream of videos coming in, we get and our minds are now being focused and whatever by an external force that's got before we even start the day, as we are centering ourselves. You know what I mean? But we're not centering ourselves, we're being centered. So you're just being distracted from who you are and what you need to do with what is actually going on in your life. So like I'm trying to do things in my life. You know what I mean? I'm trying to move to new areas and solidify certain things that I'm doing at the moment and expand them and make them grow. And that social media or just the echo chamber has been throwing me off. You know what I mean? Just like I've been in bed for an hour looking at social media, looking at my posts. I mean, checking out who's been interested in me, seeing who's reacted to my posts and reacting back. And before you know it, you spent an hour, 2 hours doing absolutely nothing of value. I mean, nothing that's going to further your life, nothing that's going to develop you, nothing of nothing. I mean, and I just like, right. So what I've done anyway now is locked off all notifications that come in when I'm not on the app or got my screen locked, so that I'm not being distracted from what I'm doing. I'm not being focused. And I find myself opening the apps every now and again to have a look to see what I've missed or what's been going on. And it's not good because it's got nothing to do with my life. It's got nothing to do with my day-to-day shit. Like was this after obviously the George Floyd thing kicked off. I mean, I used to get the racist expose posts coming in. Never was like stopped looking at the fights and all the foolishness a while ago, but you know, you see the odd person getting pulled up. Remember there was the thing when people used to get pulled up and not wind down their window, and you get a post about that every day about when you get pulled up by the police and you don't, I'm not here, officer, I don't want to wind down my window, I have every right not to talk to you, no, I don't need to tell you my name and blah, I don't need to engage. And then people were sending up their posts of how they said, no, officer, I'm not winding down. And then there was posts of people getting their windows smashed when they're I'm not opening the window, smash, or whatever. On the odd post. So I mean, like, you just get fed the same thing over and over. And I mean, like last week I was talking about this, like the flat earth thing. know what I mean? And stuff like that. Now, that can only be cut every morning or something. You might have looked at it once or whatever, and then every day you're getting a thing reinforcing or this thing. I mean, so now since the George Floyd thing, you got the thing of you had the thing. It's kind of that I stopped looking now. Know what I mean, I stopped looking because it's like it's too much. Know what I mean, so you just like I got friends that have seemingly discovered racism for the first time through Facebook or through social media. That you know, like I got black friends that don't have any black friends. They just hang around with white people, yeah, and I've just discovered their white friends are racist, like, or got racist tendencies, and I'm like, mate, like, you've been a coconut for ages, know what I mean? Like, and I mean, like, know what I mean? When I say a coconut, it's like, wow, you've got tendencies where you diss black people when their blackness for being black, like you don't even grease your hair. Know what I mean? You just do not understand anything about being black. Like, you don't cream your skin. Your skin is dry. Like, you wash your hair every day. You can't be washing you're not white. You don't wash your hair every day and go out with your hair wet. Know what I mean? Don't do it. It's not, you know what I mean? Don't do it. Your hair's crispy. Know what I mean? Yeah. Right? And like, they just don't know because they've rejected their blackness. Know what I mean? But they didn't know that their friends are kind of racist.
Nah, but that's deep. Like, imagine.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like you got a friend. Like, you're just there with your friends, your white friends. You're thinking all's hunky dory. You didn't even clock. Like, oh my gosh, I've been in this situation. Like, it's a sad revelation to think that your white friends are racist.
It's sad. I don't know. Like, it's like.
Or do you feel like it's their own stupidity, or do you think that it's?
I think it's
there's a veil over their eyes, and
yeah.
Or do you feel like they put the veil themselves, or do you feel?
Yeah, it's a bit of all of that because, depending on where you grow up and who was around you at the time, like your life is based on your experiences in it and how you react to them. So it could have been something that, like, when you was young, you know what I mean, like. Okay, so for instance, when I was young, you don't even see it nowadays, really. But young Sikhs used to wear a handkerchief on their head.
It's called a turban.
No, a handkerchief, wasn't it?
Just a handkerchief.
Yeah, like when they was young, they would have their hair in a little ball and have a handkerchief on the top with an elastic band to hold it.
Like a hair band. And then they put like a covering over
a covering, and I'm saying it's a handkerchief because they used to look like this is from nursery and them things there. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. Like, so Jen says I grew up in a white malno. I don't know what a malno is, but so yeah, I wonder why that don't happen no more. Like, it's not like Sikhs don't exist anymore, and you don't really see that many Sikhs wearing a turban anymore as well. Really. That's mad, isn't it? Or not? Like, yeah. And the only people I know, I only know a few Sikhs. Like,
yeah, I only know a few Sikhs.
Yeah. What happened to the Sikhs? Anyway, Hakeem's coming in live. You can come in live, cuz. Go live with T Hakeem on Insta. Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, I don't know what that was. But you saying, cuz, you good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. It's catchy wiping my eye.
Oh, mate, I was sleeping when the other one, when the youngster come. But hey, I'm just 1 sec. I'm just gonna talk. What was we talking about? Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So like living in a bubble of not realizing your friends are racist and that. So like, I can't remember where that story was gonna go, but basically. Like when you so you'd have an experience basically, yeah, and you'd either that was it, like, so it was about fitting in. So, you know what I mean, So we used to, being youngs, little kiddies, I mean, used to call them top knobs and like in school and like be like just because you don't know that's what other people are calling them, and but there'd be so few like that the seats would like in my school like would come in this primary school would come in to the groups with the even though we're all mixed, yeah. I was young like and you still had racist little kids in school, yeah, in my school. So at some point when we started getting older, all the black kids used to congregate, and the few Asian kids, there was some that would hang out with the black kids and some that would hang out with the white kids, depending on whatever happened, like in their personal experience. Yeah. I mean, how they got treated to. Maybe it might even just took one day. Somebody might have said something, or there was a fight, and then maybe a black kid might have come in and defended him or whatever, and so he'd hang out with the black kids. Mm-hmm. And then for whatever reason, because it was it basically it's a white world, isn't it, that we live in, yeah. So people wanted to, or maybe the kids hang out with the white and forged with the white kids. Now that forms your pathway. So the same thing could have happened with the black kids. Like one of the people I know, he went like when I went to secondary school. There's only 3 black kids in my year. Yeah. Now I didn't come from the area at the time. I'd moved into the area at that age, and the other black kids, 2 black kids that was there, lived in the area. So they had forged their friendships and their social thing with the white kids and had their white group that they hung out with, and I saw people like me that listening to reggae music or black music and sort that way. So sometimes it's not a thing that you're not aware as such, but it's just how the path took you. Yeah. And like so it's where you went to fit in and then you grew that way. So yeah, it's kind of weird. That was a terrible explanation.
Yeah, I was getting lost in that explanation. She said that she grew up in a white neighborhood, but our mum grew us up to know who we were. Yeah, I think that's what it's about.
No one understands. Like, you got to give it to the crowd. I mean, you're not telling me. You're telling the audience. Like, so yeah. So Miss Jen said, "I grew up." So Jen, what was that like for you growing up in a white neighborhood? But even and knowing who you were, so you had your blackness, and like I take it all your friends were white and all of that. I'll tell you like just a couple of stories of like what it was like, yeah, for me. All right. So we'd go swimming, like so when you went back in the day at school, we used to go swimming with the school, with the class. Yeah, and so coming out of primary school, getting to secondary school with like there was only 3 black kids, yeah. So in my class, I was the only black boy in my class. Yeah. And there was one next black girl in my class and an Asian girl. Yeah, that was it. The rest were white, yeah. So we went swimming. So we've dived in, yeah, and I've got my little afro going on, and I've come out the water. There's like, your hair's not wet. I mean, it's like, because it stays, there's an afro in it. They're like, how'd you do that? Your hair's not wet. You know what I mean? And it's just like amazing to them. It's like they expect my hair to go like flop and flop down. You know what I mean? And it's like, so, and I remember the next one was being a child. Like I remember being a youngster, like probably about 5 or something like that, and getting on a bus. And some old black guy went, "Oh, only a nice boy," and patted me on the head. And my mum cussed him out, "Don't touch him, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, I thought he was being a nice man. Yeah. I mean, then when I got like in my 20s and my 30s, I got to find out that white people used to think it was good luck to pat black people on the head.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So then I like my mum never explained, but she cussed the man, "Don't touch him." Know what I mean? And saying that, there's been a couple of white people that I know that like I always used to look young for my age, yeah.
Yeah.
So when the older people say, "All right, there, boy," blah blah, like with their Cockney accents and that, I thought it just because I look young.
Yeah.
I mean, but now I got grey hair. Some of them are still saying like, "All right, there, boy, all right, boy." Now we all right, boy. And I'm like, hang on a minute. Is he? Because he's not saying it in a bad way, like, and he's proper.
Yeah.
And like, hang on a minute. Is he saying that because he's old and wrinkly?
Yeah.
Or because I'm black?
Yeah.
And like, it's because it's like I don't challenge it at the time.
Yeah.
Because it's like the way it's done is like so.
Can't like.
It's no. It's like
yeah,
so. It's like, oh boy, how you going? You know what I mean? And it's like, oh man, how you doing? And then I go away. I'm like, hang on a minute. Did he say boy? Like, and it's like, raw. Like, I've got grey hair.
Yeah.
I've got grey hair. That's blatant. Like, is he? And I can't uppercut him because he's old. But like, I need to remember to ask him next time. Like, wait. I mean, like, cool. Oh, there you old codger or something. I mean, or something. I don't know. No, that's for me. That's even too disrespectful. Are you calling me boy? Or you just like? Because I'm sure you don't say that.
Also, it's said in such a casual way.
Yeah. And I'm like, anyway. So how you doing, Hacks? What's been going on?
All right. I think you should tell him he should address you as Lawyer the Black.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
And you have to emphasize the black.
The black, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man. It's like...
I'm good, cuz, man.
Yeah? Man, like...
Yeah.
So, like, we got no subject matter this week. It's terrible.
So how did this conversation start?
As it does, like, just something just clicked and popped into the head. Because this one's been silent. She's not being very helpful
Because
this
you
week.
keep doing a monologue.
Mate!
So
Like,
I'm like, okay.
She don't understand how the argument goes.
Monologue, so I'm like, okay, do your monologue then. Like, keep ranting, did it? Like, telling anecdotes. How am I going to step in on an anecdote? Like, I'm not stepping on an anecdote. That's disrespectful. Halfway through the story, I'm just going to say, yeah, so that, the same thing happened to me, you know? When I was down south, like, I don't know, do you get it?
Fair enough, but you should help from the beginning, from the very start, before it, I mean, as soon as it kick in, you're supposed to be, like, I mean, I'm in this show. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
But I don't know. So it sounded like you was discussing the other levels of racism that can exist. So just the everyday casual. I know they're using a new term nowadays. You know, they call it microaggression or microaggression racism. That's what they call it nowadays.
Yeah.
I still call it white supremacy bullshit. So you can give it whatever modern term you want, but it's as you know, look, we're children from the 70s, and again, just as you was talking about their hair and all the rest of it, you know, the common thing where a white person thinks they're paying you a compliment when they turn around and say, you don't sound like a black person, or you're all right for a black person, or or you know what, you're not like the rest of them.
Yeah, you're not like the rest of them. That's the one. So on that one day, I remember when I first started working, like, when we just talked about the Sikhs, like, I had a Sikh boss.
Sure.
And one of the first things, he used to give me like all sorts of racist comments and stuff, like, he used to, black people don't run business, black people can't run a business and all this kind of stuff. And when I first dealt, like, and he used to come out with all sorts of racist stuff. And one day he said that same thing to me. He's like, "You're right, you're not like the others. You ain't got a chip on your shoulder." I said to him, "Mate, you're a Sikh. Like, what? Why am I going to take your racist slurs as anything?" You know what I mean? Like, I thought you was messing around. You know what I mean? But I tell you something. My name's Lawyer the Black. So when I start giving it back to you, make sure you ain't can take it. So you ain't got a chip on your shoulder. And then one time he couldn't. And he offered me, he offered me money. We was coming back from somewhere. And he goes, come out the car. I said, wait, nah, take me home first. We'll have a fight outside, because if I beat you up now, how am I going to get home? Take me home, or give me the keys. Let me put the keys in my pocket. Let me put the keys in my pocket, and then we fight. Because otherwise, if I beat you up, you're not going to let me back in the vehicle. You know what I mean?
Oh my days.
I mean, what it was, basically, he tried to say something about he was going to bang my missus or something like that. I said to him, but it's only fair, seeing as I've been banging your missus for the last 6 months. I mean, you know, what? You gotta say, blah, blah. I said, yeah, she's a bit skinny. She ain't all that. I mean, pum, innit? So he's like, right, that's it, get out of the car. I'm like, what are you on about? What are you on about? I mean, he goes, you cuss my girlfriend. He goes, yeah, but that's my wife. It's just your girlfriend. I'm like, you're a moron, me. No, I'm a moron. You don't. Anyway, it's fool. Anyway, he did it.
But you see, but you know what? But that's how. Even though that's on a smaller level, but you can see that's how it plays out in that little micro. That's how it plays out in the macro. That he was in a position of power. He was at the time. He was employing you.
Yeah.
So anything that he says should stand, and he can reinforce anything that he says by saying either get out the car, you're not coming into work tomorrow. I'm not paying you. Literally. I'm not. And now, see, if you say something, because if you say something back that he don't like, now all of a sudden, because you're stood up for yourself,
Oh, that wasn't the first time, but yeah. But that's the first time you're going to take it.
You're a reverse cusser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, you're not a cusser with another cusser. You're a reverse cusser. And it's just like how it gets played out in the wider society.
True.
On a bigger level. You know, if there are groups that now stand up for themselves, if there's groups that now fight back, and that group that's in power, if they don't like it, all of a sudden you're a reverse racist now.
Yeah.
So how the hell can you be a reverse racist when you just fighting for something that should have been yours from birth? Which is respect.
Yeah.
Which is understanding.
Yeah.
Which is equality. Which is freedom.
So that's a good way of explaining that. I mean, it's a good way of explaining it, because I'm like, before you come on, I was saying to my daughter about how when we was young, like when we was at school, and the Sikhs used to wear the handkerchief on their head when they was young, before they put the term.
Yeah.
See what you said it? That's what we called it. It could not be called a top knob. That's what we called a top. That's what us kiddies called it.
Top knot. No, the derogatory word is top knob, but top knot.
Top knot.
Is that what they used to call it? Is that what Sikhs used to call it?
Sorry?
Is that what Sikhs used to call it?
No, there is an indigenous term for it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We never knew.
Because it's part of it's part of the 5 or, if there's any Sikhs listening, forgive me. It's part of the 5 or 7K. Yeah.
All right.
Calling it a top knot, that is not derogatory.
Okay.
It is when the term in the 70s, when white folks stopped calling it, when they turned knot into knob because of how the end looks, so they would call it a top knob. But that's what you're supposed to top knot. Because also, if you go back to like some of the Shang dynasties of China, they also used to wear a top knot.
Yeah.
Remember, you're seeing some of them old school kung fu films. Remember, they used to wear a top knot. And they called it a top knot.
Right.
So knot, K-N-O-T. B got added later on by the National Front and everyone else.
Mate, I just think you remember Bobby Pascal and all of us we didn't even know, I didn't even know. I think it was top knob, because that's how the blacks used to say it. He said, look at your top knob, or yeah, top knob. Know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, I never thought of it like as a knob, like as in the Cockney what a knob is. Do you know what a knob is? Okay, just really like I thought you might have been of a different generation. So like, I used to call it a knob because I like it looked like a door handle, like a knob. Know what I mean? So I actually thought you were just saying top knob because it looked like, I mean, the door handle.
Yeah.
It's actually today that I've actually clocked what them white people was calling it a top knob. Cause I used to just follow everyone up, top knob. I think it was top knob. Know what I mean? Top knob. Know what I mean? But it's not, it was top knob. Okay. And I never knew it was called a top. No, but that's today is the first time I heard it called a knot. Like, I didn't know. Okay. I always thought it was top knob. Like, and I just thought that's not derogatory, innit? What you call him man top knob for? Know what I mean? Well, obviously because he's got the knob on the top of his head. But know what I mean? But that's what I thought. Know what I mean? So yeah, we used to be racist in school. Know what I mean? We went to a racist school. So like we used to follow the white kids and their racism, but to a certain extent, being young, didn't know being racist. Kind of like, well, you did kind of because, like, obviously,
it wasn't nice.
Yeah, well, as well, there was groups, yeah. So we used to split up into groups. Like, I used to play football, blacks versus whites in football. Know what I mean? And then the Indians or the Asians would come on to. Normally, it would be the black side. It'd be the real odd Asian that would go on the white team. The real like raw.
See, yeah, I just found, you know, when I said it's one of the K's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you looked up.
So in Sikhism it's called Kesh.
Okay, so explain what the K's are now, because obviously, like most of us, including me. All right, no, I'm not saying go through the whole K's.
Sorry?
I'm not saying go through the K's.
Basically, you know when you see Sikhs wearing the bangle, remember the silver bangle?
A sword that goes through their hair as well.
No. And
the hairstyle.
Sorry, you cut out for a minute on there because.
So.
Yeah, go on.
So you know when you see Sikhs wearing the silver bangle. So that's
slightly rings a bell.
One of the K's.
Okay.
The hairstyle, like the kesh or the top knot.
Right.
It's one of the K's.
No, I'm not saying. Like,
so
what I mean is.
Sorry?
What is the K's a tier system like? What is the K's?
No, it just each one symbolizes something.
That's how I'm going through it.
Each one like symbolizes something.
It's your appearance.
Right.
So like also some Sikhs they would also carry like a dagger.
The curved one.
That's one of the K's.
Yeah. They used to be able to do that legally.
Basically the pillars of your foundation.
Right.
Of your spiritual belief.
Okay. Right,
and
okay.
Each one carries a very deep symbolic and spiritual meaning.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That comes all the way back to the Sikh greeting of, and forgive me any Sikhs that's listening if I pronounce it wrong, Satriya Khan, which means that I bow to the God within you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So like I said, it's just like when you used to see like samurai also warriors in feudal Japan.
Yeah.
Have the top knot.
Yeah.
So it's only
here
from Afghani times. It's only from Afghani times in England for it to be derogatory, they called it a top knot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But it's actually top knot.
Right. I never knew that. Thank you very much for enlightening me after all these years. All right, got a question that's come in from Miss Jen. It says, what was it like for your girl in school? So Ren, come, it's your time.
My school, there was not very many white people.
Okay.
So
and you're offered you have to come over here a little bit more.
So probably
turn it around a little.
In my class, like, there would probably be like one white person.
Really?
And majority would be Asian.
Okay.
Well, yeah, one or two white people. And then majority would be Asian and black.
What school is this? Primary or secondary?
I feel like both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I grew up in Newham, so that's like predominantly multicultural, like Asian, Black immigrants type of second generation type of vibe in Newham.
What was it like in Newham when we grew up, Hacks? What was it like in Newham when we grew up?
Oh well, for me it was kind of because I was like born in Canning Town in 1970, so Canning Town. If anyone knows Canning Town 1970, they would know that was the Alabama, that was the Texas, that was the Mississippi of London.
Yeah, and Customer House.
Anyone that knows Alf Garnett and the white man that created Alf Garnett, he came from Canning Town.
Right.
And he based that character on the people of Canning Town, and I can bear witness. Because Alf Garnett was like one of the most racist comic characters on TV. And it was the longest running ever comedy show on British television.
Right.
And it was racist as hell. Racist as hell.
Yeah.
And I can bear witness that every man, woman, and child, every cat, rat, and dog was an Alf Garnett in Canning Town in 1970. It's Friday. So if this was 1973, 74, 75, 76, 77 in Canning Town, Hermit Road or Bethel Avenue in Canning Town on a Friday night, this time you would now be hearing white guys and white teenagers rolling out the pubs. Remember the rounders backs?
Yeah, yeah.
With rounders backs with like 5-inch nails hammered into the rounders backs, and they will call it Friday night is Packy Bashing night.
Yeah.
Let's go out Packy Bashing. Friday night was called Packy Bashing night.
Basically, there's a chant. Yeah, there was a chant.
They tried Nick-Knock Bashing night for one Friday.
Yeah.
And it only lasted for one Friday.
Yeah. It was not having it.
It lasted for one Friday, so then they decided to leave the Nick-Knocks alone. It didn't even last for the whole night. It lasted for about 20 minutes. And then some of them bats got placed in a very, very, very convenient place. So they decided to stop Nick-Knock bashing, right? And then they turned it into Patty bashing night.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the time, it was the black brothers that also would protect
the Asians. Yeah.
The Indian community
in
Canning Town back then. So that was my initial experience in Canning Town, and then family moved to like Leighton and Upton Park. And then we're going to school in the 80s. Again, it was just, remember in the 80s you get away with anything, man. The teachers were really racist.
Yeah.
And I can even remember having that Malcolm X experience where I chose physics as one of my subjects. But remember, this was like first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and what have you. Yeah. And even though I found it hard, I really liked it. Because it would stretch my brain and what I wanted to do. And I remember my white physics teacher who came to the table, and I had to sit with, again, there was one Sikh brother, and the rest of them were like, there's 3 other Hindus I would sit with. Right. Because they used to be like the boffins. Okay. Yeah? And I remember he come to the table, and I remember he asked Mahendra, Harvinder, so I still haven't forgotten their names. And this devil teacher, man, I had to call him a devil. But he asked all of them what they look, and all of them were like, yeah, I want to go to college. Now remember, this is the 80s. No one in my family before me has ever gone to college. Yeah. College is in my head. I wanted to be the first person in my family. And you've got to remember, for us, lawyer, our generation, we would have been the first to ever go to college. Ever.
And you mean college or uni?
Sorry?
You mean college or uni?
College. Remember, go to college and go to uni.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
University. Yeah. And so when he came to me now, I said, all right, Trevor, what do you want to do? What do you want to do, Trevor? And I was like, I want to go to college. I want to study a bit more science. He was like, you're better off just trying to get a job. Yeah. And that crushed my spirit for learning. Yeah. That was when I just said, you know what, the hell with this. The hell with this. I shouldn't have thought that way. Yeah. I shouldn't have thought that way, but he crushed my spirit for learning. Yeah. And again, that's the thing regarding, racism is so interwoven into the very fabric of every field of endeavor of society that even when a teacher has a misperception of you. And then, as far as they're concerned, with this misperception, it's like they think they're saying something good for you.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? Your kind don't go to college or university. Remember, this would have been in 1984, 85.
Yeah, I had the same experience.
So you had a similar experience.
Yeah.
And for me, it was soul crushing. I thought to hell of it. And that's when it was from there, I turned into a bad boy and just messed about at school. Yeah. I just got into foolishness.
So on my one, it was because I wanted to be a vet when I was young.
Okay.
So you had to do physics, chemistry, and biology. Yeah.
Right.
So I actually did. Like, if it wasn't for chemistry, I probably, because my chemistry teacher, I used to just struggle just to stay awake in his class. It was so boring. But so biology now, like, I need to get an O level, like in all of them, to get into to uni or whatever, to go on to do the A levels and then go on to uni. So my chemistry teacher, my biology teacher said that he was putting the class into like the CCSE exam. Yeah, and this is just before it went to GCSEs. So CSE and O level. Yeah.
So I was like, to do that,
so I was just like, nah, like, sir, I need to do O level. And it's like, but the O level's harder and the CSE is if you get I said, yeah, but I can only get if I get the top grade CSE, then I can only get the O level top grade grade C. The top CSE is an O level grade C. I need to get like a grade B. Know what I mean? Like or an A. Like, so I don't want to do the thing here. But he goes, yeah, but I doubt if you'll even get. Know what I mean? I was like, what do you mean you doubt if I'll even get whatever? And he's like, can you just put me through and let me at least try? Know what I mean? And he's like, you weren't willing to do it. So I got the top level in CSE, like, and that was an Asian teacher, Mr. Moody, his name was. Yeah.
Right.
I got the top in the class. I got the top in the school, I think. Yeah. And the man, I give it to him. He apologized, but Bridget, you fucked me already, innit?
Yeah.
Know what I mean? You fucked me already. Know what I mean? Because I think I done well in physics. I'm pretty certain I done well. Yeah, because I got physics, biology, math. The only one I didn't. I think I got a grade D in chemistry. But that teacher used to just like, he was drone and he was monotone, like, and just do their experiments at the front of the class. It's like, oh my days, like, and I'm trying to study, but it's not going in, boy. So anyway. Similar thing happened with the maths teacher as well, but he.
I'm just gonna plug in this charger.
Okay, cool. But with that one there, I think I failed my maths the first time. I had to resit. Yeah. So his storage almost full on Insta, right? So I had to resit because it was mad. Right. Sorry about the monologues again, but anytime we done the exams, my nose would just start running, and maths was the first exam we had to do, yeah? Like, so it was some mad shit. Because, like, I was queuing up, went into the exam room, and I'm fine, it's warm and everything. Sat down at the desk, and my nose just started pouring of snot. And I got no tissue or nothing. And I'm like, and it's going onto the paper, and I'm like, and it's like proper, it's going like spider webs everywhere. I remember when I finished some of it was smudged, all kind of things. I was just like, right, that was weird. So I didn't pass. I got a grade D the first time. Luckily, I reset. But the one that smashed it, because I wanted to go on and to do A levels, yeah. And there's this exam that or as we was just on the GCSE thing, the last year of the O level and CSCs before we went GCSEs. They come out with something called the CPV, Certificate of Pre-Vocational Education, which was like the tier down from A level. Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to do A level maths, chemistry, biology to be able to be a vet, and I was just gonna go for it. You know what I mean, And my head teacher, Miss Austin, her name was. Now I thought she was cool, like she was mad cool. But she done that same thing. Goes, Richard, I don't think A levels would be right for you. I think you should do a CPV course, and like that will get you into thing like, and it's like basically it was the A level version, the GCSE version of A level where it's not exam based, it's coursework based. So I was like, really? So obviously listening to her, talk to my mum. My mum listens, old West India person, believes the teacher knows everything. You know what I mean? Right? She like said, okay, yeah, that sounds good to me, blah, blah, blah. When I did it, one of the modules or the competencies was to get a map, pick a place, get a map, go to the place, and then write down how you did it, how you used the map, and how you got there. And I was just like, I don't believe it. I've signed up for this course, and it's a whole heap of foolishness. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be able to get into uni with this. This is a joke. You know what I mean? But it went harder. But it's like, this is some childish. This is backwards, man. You know what I mean? So that's why I ended up being an electrician. But even the electrician thing, same thing. My careers officer, because I was going to do electronics, I actually got into the Merchant Navy College to go and get an H&D in electronics and computing.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, right.
You know what? When I was 16, I went to sign up for the Merchant Navy, you know?
Okay. So, yeah. So I actually got in. I went to it, done the exam, done the court, done the day. I got in. So I was going to do an H&D in electronics and computing. Yeah. And my careers officer goes to me, oh, Richard, you should become an electrician because there's a shortage of electricians and you get paid while you're training. And electricians make loads of money and it's basically the same thing as electronics. So after you do that, if you want to go into electronics, you can just go into it. It's just, it's the same thing more or less. I was like, oh, same. You get paid. Because man was broke, man, I mean, had holes in their trainers and stuff like that. I mean, my mum was on, where every year you got your vouchers to go down to British Home Stores and get your, and down to Ian Howard's to get your, or Clark's or whatever, and get your basic pair of Clark shoes, no name brand and that. So, I thought, oh, see, I get paid while I'm learning and going to college. It sounded great. And it's the same as being wicked. Why am I going to go Merchant Navy College, do 4 years unpaid, going on ships around the world, and blah. Why am I going to do that when I can go and earn a fortune as an lecturer? You know what? When I got £35 a week for the first year. It's the YTS money. Then they doubled it in the second year. Doubled it in the second year, £70 a week. You know what I mean? My friends was doing London Underground and British Rail. First year they was on 150 a week. I was gutted. I was gutted, but I mean, so anyway.
You just needed some role models and advice can actually just get you a long way in life.
Yeah.
Because all of those setbacks.
Yeah. Basically, just set your life.
But anyway, I'm going to ask you guys.
See, Renee back on our side, we never had no things like mentors, all this type of things never existed for us.
Yeah.
I mean, so... Yeah, and there was no black people, and up until now, a lot of black people are not running businesses where they're bringing through the next generation or showing the next generation how to do it. I mean,
because even a really famous designer, he has a clothing brand called Off-White, which is very famous right now, it's very trendy, whatever, at the moment. And he hasn't hired one black person, but he was also, I think, he was adopted into a white family, so maybe that is why as well. But yeah, he doesn't have one black employee, but he's basically one of the biggest fashion designers at the moment, upcoming fashion designers at the moment. So yeah. But anyway, I was gonna ask you guys about you see how there's been a shift of the white people running out, which is called white flight, which happens kind of everywhere, in UK and America. But did you guys notice the shift when you're thinking, you're leaving as well? You're going to? Going to Essex too? Oh, okay, all right, bye. oh, there's some black people now. Oh, hey. Was it like that? Or was it just like...
It wasn't even like a surprise. It was standard.
Yeah.
Like, so, like when we grew up, like, I grew up near Upton Park, yeah? So I remember when I was young, once again, do you remember Hammond's acts on Green Street where...
Hammond's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was one Caribbean shop kind of thing where you could get your Caribbean food from called Hammond's on Green Street, and it's on the corner of Plastic Grove.
So it was the white Jewish family that used to run it.
So the Caribbean shop, like where you used to get your yams and your was run by a white Jewish family.
Yeah, white Jewish family.
Yeah.
They used to sell a whole heap of smoked pork. Remember, they used to have the smoked ham hanging up.
Really? I didn't even know they was Jewish. I just knew they was white.
There'd be a whole rack of smoked ham. Then there'd be all the yams and the plantain and I'd be like, and it's only years later because I obviously when you grow up, I didn't know these things. Like I realized and I learned. Wait a minute, white Jewish people don't eat pork. Like you were selling it. You were selling it
in abundance.
So I remember Hammond's on Green. It was on the corner. It was the corner.
Yeah.
There was a massive shop on the corner. Yeah. Upper Green Street. Yeah, man.
And I remember all the time he was rude because I remember all the black women used to be having arguments with him. I mean, he used to try and shortchange people. He used to try and weigh it up and then cut piece off and bag up less than what you paid for. All kind of things. You had to watch him hard. I mean, and so then Green Street used to have quite a few white shops on it and stuff like that. And then over time, you see, like it became basically a whole Asian street. Like if you go down Green Street now, it's a whole Asian street. Yeah, and like you got Asians like it's like Saris and
so only used to be Carlos the barber, innit?
Yeah, Carlos was the barber. Yeah, I mean, so there was only and like Miss Jen, like certainly we've been ignoring Miss Jen.
She didn't have to. She had the opposite experience. She asked a question earlier for Renee about what was the Asian ratio like in your school. So you're saying there was only a couple of whites, and mostly blacks.
50% Asian, 60%, 50-60% Asian.
And so and then like
then like probably like 20% black, 5% Eastern European white, then like 1%.
And that interesting how the Eastern European whites get separated from the indigenous whites. Like they got their whole ethnic minority thing going on as well. But see, even that
they're still not. Because number one, usually they're not, their English is not that good.
Right. Okay.
They have a different culture. Like it's very clear. It was very clear to see the Eastern European white versus like the British white, because the British white could hang out, could go out on the street and do but then the Eastern European white still had like discipline in their home, so they would like have to go home or like etc. You like the British white girls will be wearing like a lot of makeup and like having a lot of boyfriends, but then the Eastern European white girls wouldn't really do that. So it's very like it was very different.
That sounds like the old black culture, basically. Sound like that's how our generation grew up. I mean, and when Hakeem was talking about Afghani, what was that show called?
Till Death Do Us Part.
Till Death Do Us Part. You need to watch that show on YouTube, right? So and like when he was talking about how racist it was, Miss Jen said, but our parents watched it and laughed at him too. It was funny though, to tell you the truth. It was funny. I mean, some of them racist shows like Love Thy Neighbor and stuff, it actually was quite funny. I have to admit, even Jim Davison used to make me laugh with his chalky jokes as well. But I used to hate it because I know when I go to school, he's gonna call me like yeah. It was funny at home, but at the same time, you hated it because you know you're gonna get them racist jokes when you got to school the next day. And Miss Jen said I had the complete opposite because I was told to go college because hairdressing was a low-class job. Now, Miss Jen's mum was a hairdresser, so that's deep. So Jen, like, you should call in for this, man. You need to call in. The number is 07 932 922 532. I'm sure.
Also, her mum was a hairdresser.
Her mum,
they advised her to go to college and not be a hairdresser.
Yeah.
Because it's low class. Because
it's a low class job. But she's a hairdresser. She actually took over her mum's job, which was a rare thing because her mum actually had a hairdressing shop.
Yeah.
And bought the premises.
Oh, wow.
Like, didn't just rent it, just bought it as well. And it's still there now. I mean, that's where
Kathy's.
Yeah, Kathy's hairdressers. That's where. I mean,
Kathy's hairdresser, East Ham High Road.
It's a Barking Road, near before the town hall, near the junction.
Great hairdressers.
Very good, very good. I mean, like, before I had to cut my hair, that's why I used to go and get my hair done. Yeah. Steam and blow dry. Yeah, she also says, yes, remember them. That's where we got our Christmas ham. He was well rude. Yeah, no, she didn't want you to be a hairdresser. Miss Jen says, no, she didn't want me to be a hairdresser. I said, I know. That means she told you, but you ended up being a hairdresser anyway. So that's what I'm saying. You need to call in because you need to explain how you never listened to your mum. I mean, so yeah. So anyway, the number for the live calls is 07 932. It's a bit late now because we're about to be pulled out of Insta. What's that? Yeah, soon. Yeah. And we ain't coming back again because I got a life to lead. Yeah. But if you do want to come in quickly, right, it's 07 932 922 532. Next week we might even have a subject that we're gonna start with as well. But anything,
how long you got left on Insta?
We started at 9, so it should be cutting out. Normally it gives you the countdown, but we ain't got the but normally it gives you the countdown, but we ain't got a countdown at the moment, so I don't know.
Okay.
So I'll tell you when the countdown kicks in. So yeah, we probably got less than 5 minutes, I reckon, though. You know what I mean? So
okay.
So yeah, so basically, like let's go to so when did you sort of like first discover or have like racism in your life or experiences, not on the streetwise, but in systems or education? Did you? Because you was lucky, like you had. I can't imagine like what it was like for you.
When did I don't know, you know.
Have you ever experienced it? Would you say like you've never experienced it, innit? So
I've experienced it. Like it's always been them ones where it's like, did he just say that because I was black or because like it's always them ones where they will say something and they like afterwards you're clocking like, wait, what was that racist? What just happened? So like, let me give you an example of. Okay, let me give an example of all of me and my black friends, female friends are like all laughing, joking around in the corridor, for example.
Where's this?
In school.
Okay.
Secondary school.
Right.
So me and my black friends are joking around in the corridor, whatnot. And mostly because obviously I've mainly been around the Asian communities, mainly Asian teachers that I would look at sideways and be like, was that a bit racist? So yeah. So they'll be like, oh, you girls, you guys are always loud, aren't you? Can't you be like these girls over there that's all quiet? And then she'll point out a group of like Asian girls or like girls that are like white girls that are just quiet and relaxed or something like that. And it's like, did she just say that because we're just black? Because it's actually a playtime and anybody, like, we're not actually disturbing anybody right now. We're outside having fun. Like, this is what we're supposed to be doing. So you're disturbing us, but is it just because you feel like culturally speaking, black people are loud, or is it actually because
you're loud?
Yeah, because we are. Like, so it's mainly stuff like that. I don't feel like I've experienced it on a
thing. I'll tell you what, Layla, so your cousin Layla, my niece, yeah, I picked up from uni, brought her back the other day. She's telling me, I stopped on Insta. So anyway, so she was telling me about, she went to one of her teachers, I can't remember what it was, but she needed to hand in, I think she was going to hand in something late or something, yeah? Okay. And what's it called? the teacher said to her that she's like, oh, I'm really stressed out and like, always, you know, like things are going on with it. And she's like, the teacher goes to her, yeah, it must be really stressful for you because coming from a poor background, dealing with, you're never going to fit in. You're never going to fit in with these kids that have, you know, they're spoon fed and
in university.
And obviously you being black and like nobody's going to like you. And so I need to get her on and like I need to like but basically saying like because she comes from a poor background, she's not going to be able to fit in. And it's like the problem that she had nothing to do. Like it didn't even relate because she was all right there. But he just had his preconception of being poor and black. Like she's just rejected by everybody and whatever. And he just went into a monologue. Like,
and he was probably thinking, wow, I'm really related to this girl right now. Like, I understand your struggle.
I mean, it's mad. It's mad. But yeah. So like, you know what? For me as well, like when you went uni, when you went uni, I was really expecting you to sort of like broaden your social circle, like, and because I went to a white school, like, it's really easy for me to assimilate. Yeah. Even when it like, and then from going to a racist white school, I went into at the time was quite a racist industry with working class white people being builders and stuff like that. So a few of my black like counterparts and stuff like kind of struggled with how they were treated by or like, you know, they came from areas like Tottenham, Brixton and stuff, black areas. I come from a white area. So being like, mate, like this is normal for me, mate. These white people better watch out about for their racism because I can like I can give out as good as I get. Yeah. And like I see the micro racism for what I mean and what it is and whatever. So like I to a certain extent was hoping that when you went uni that you would broaden out so that you would experience that side of things and learn how to, if you're going into a corporate world, learn how to work on that level. Because I did it on a working class level, and now I set my own businesses. I don't have to deal with anyone's bullshit. But if I come across anyone's bullshit, I'm in the power to tell them about themselves. You know what I mean? But I thought that you going to uni would then experience, but you've gone in with a couple of your mates from school and you've created a black bubble at uni. So do you not mix with white people at uni?
No, I definitely have. I think for me, because I literally don't really like need to be pushed into making new friends because I have friends that like I've known from secondary school and I'm very like happy with the friends I have. Like we understand each other, we've come to a level. So for me, when I went to uni, when I used to speak to new people, or like when I used to get to know new people, it was very like surface because my very, very good friends like Tiana, who you know I've known for years, is still at the university. So it's like I don't really need to like
socialize
as much. Like I can socialize on a level where it's just like, oh yeah, do you want to meet up to get some lunch? Okay, yeah, sure, let's do that. Okay, yeah, all right, bye, kind of thing. Not bye, but kind of bye. Like, so yeah, that's probably one thing. But I feel like I have like friends that live in China, Hong Kong, from university. It's just that it's like our friendship hasn't needed to go like that deep,
personal level.
Like it's personal, but it's not like you're like my best friend now. But I feel like the only people that has really happened to in university is people that don't really have friends outside of university. So they came in there like kind of like nerds or like kind of like really needing
Right.
To be vulnerable or really like attaching themselves to people.
Oh yeah.
To become friends on that level. Do you get what I mean? So, and then that's another thing that was kind of weird for me because like you would meet somebody and then they would kind of act like this is like new, like they don't have friends, like this is like they don't know how to.
They don't know how to interact with people.
Yeah. So then I was just like, you guys are kind of strange, like I can interact with you, but I'm not thinking this is I'm really vibing with you. Do you get what I mean?
See, but you get that. I don't know. You get that all over. I mean, growing up.
Yeah, I don't think it's a race thing.
No. I'm not even saying on the race level. I'm just like you're gonna get people that you gel with and people. I mean, when in secondary school, you must have people that was nerds.
Yeah.
And didn't think so.
Yeah,
is any different? Yeah, I'm not saying you got to become friends with thing, but at the end, yeah. So like, I moved on with that conversation, but on the thing of like, okay, so I went to a white school. While I was at school, like, alright, so I had the older brothers and stuff. My older brothers didn't go to the white school. They went to Lister, which was Asian, black. So, like, they used to come home with their black friends, yeah? Yeah, so my brother's friends were black.
Yeah.
Right? My brothers used to talk black and, you know what I mean, blah, blah, blah. I went to a Cockney school.
Yeah.
And I was talking Cockney, like, and then my friends in the first and second year were white.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, as sort of got older, like, I had one black friend. So Paul was my black friend from school.
Yeah.
Yeah, who was properly black, as in not the coconut, to put a better word for it, black. Yeah. And we gelled because he liked reggae, I like reggae, hip hop. So we gelled on, and we was the only kind of proper black boys in our school. Yeah, so that's how we come tight in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, as like got older, and this is why that sort of thing I can sort of clock why white people promote other white people and don't so much push the black, because it's that same thing of like when you've gone to uni, you gel with your own people. So business is like it's like people think work in your career is all about your work. It's not. It's a social interaction.
Yeah.
So if you're not socializing and part of that group, that's why you're not being promoted, because you're not noticed, you're not spoken, you're not part of the collective.
Yeah.
So now, if you go to an executive level, and you're not part, how you going to be part of the group of work?
Yeah.
If you're not connected on that social level, yeah. And you're gonna find it hard to connect if you've got, you've got that different background, that different, interest, connection. Like you're not doing, so you're not gonna, talk on the phone like I talk. Like some of my employees or people I work with, we talk outside of work. Yeah. I mean, and then we work together. And sometimes that breaks or makes either the work or thing. And there's other people that just come to work, we talk at work, and then we don't interact outside of work. Now, if I'm going to promote somebody in my company or whatever, or there's a promotion coming up, who am I more likely to promote? Yeah. So people kind of need to understand that. That businesses are still human beings and people think. So you're going to get overlooked unless you become part of that social circle as well. And sometimes black people mess themselves up because they're like, oh, you're not black because you're not interacting, or you're interacting in that different way that social circle does. You're not coming out raving and doing this stuff with us. You're going and playing golf, and which black man plays golf? And you're not one of us anymore. And so they find it hard to maneuver both sides. It's like if you catch me talking to somebody like the way I'm talking to you now, or I mean, I will talk in so many different ways. during the day, depending on who I'm speaking to, whether I'm in my business role. It's like when you become a parent, you talk to your children in a totally different way to how you talk to your friends, and then you talk to your work colleagues. But then in my environment, they'll go into different accents and different slangs and stuff. And it's like you can go into so many different slangs depending on the social circles that you mix in. But it's crazy because I clocked myself doing it like one time when I went into a conversation where there was like a Jamaican guy, a white guy, and an Asian guy. And like I was getting into all different kind of accents depending on the last person who spoke. And I'm like, stop it. In my head I'm saying, stop it, what are you doing? Like just talk normally. And I was like, what is normal? Because they're all kind of normal for me. But it's like, but it's like, I know that these people have not seen me in the different environments. So it's like, it was mad. Like, and to actually be in the situation and hear myself and constantly trying not to do it, but not being able to stop doing it was mad. It was mad. Anyway, anything you want to come in with? Big up Quincy if you're still like anything you want to come in with before we end this session? I think we've done enough. Thank you for reaching. It was a bit easier than last week. Last week was kind of hard. I did a good 40 minutes of monologue.
Yeah, I think that you're getting used to it, so you forgot. Like,
I mean, but you know what it is as well? You need to start interjecting more. Like when you get the argument, like when we do this on radio, like everybody's like, no, lawyer, hold up a minute, hold up. And like don't you know what I mean? Like half the time I'm gonna forget what I was talking about anyway. Like I'm just monologuing and then all different ideas are coming into my head. So anytime you get that idea or something, feel free to if I need to finish, I'll be like, hold on. You know what I mean? So yeah. I mean, get used to it.
Someday.
Really funny. Anything you want to say to the people before we go?
No, man.
No, you don't care about them. You need to love the audience, man. You need to love them, man. Show them some love. Show some love to my audience, man.
Love you guys, man. Keep safe, man.
Anyway, people. Paul Sharp, how you doing, my brethren? You're all right. Anyway, we done for today. We done a good, like, every Friday, 9 o'clock is the argument. It can only get better. Obviously, you see we're getting more comfortable, getting more used to it. Know what I mean? We're going to get the phone line popping one day. Know what I mean? Youngsters, innit? Anyway, later, man.